Hi, I'm Michael and I'm here to tell you about the brand new Westin Escape Cam. It comes in a sturdy travel box, and in here you have everything you need to start fishing neatly laid out. You have the camera itself, there's a wire stabilizing fin, there's a dive lip for keeping the camera underwater, there's an opening tool, and there's two on-the-go card readers. One is USB-C and one is Lightning. And then you have a small box with accessories, a spare O-ring, and then you have the tubes that are used for setting up the camera. And in here you have a USB-C to USB-C cable that's used for charging or data transfer. Here it is. The camera itself weighs 40 grams. Down at the bottom you have the attachment for the line, lens in the front, and then on the back there's an end cap. This you can simply twist off, and then you have access to your micro SD card, your charging, and the on-off button. The camera is operated by the end cap. That means once you've put it on, the camera is now waterproof down to 200 meters and it's off. And if you look at the lines on the camera and the lines on the back of the end cap, then once you turn it so that they are aligned, the camera starts recording. This means you can actually turn the camera on and off while it's still waterproof. So even underwater it's possible to start and stop the recording. The camera has a 2.5 hours battery life. It shoots in 1080p, where you can choose from either 30 or 60 frames. The charging time is roughly 4 hours, and if you use a card like I do, which is 64 gigabyte, you can fit roughly 10 hours of recording on it. To do the basic mounting of the camera, first you take the plastic tube in the end where it has a small rim, and you put that into this bead, and then you can feel it click, and then this part is assembled. Then you take your camera and slide the plastic tube through the tube guides. Make sure that the flat part of the tube bead sits correctly on the camera, like so. Then you thread your main line through the tube, feeding it all the way through. So when the main line is threaded through the camera, it comes out the other end, then you take a swivel and tie it onto the main line. So you can now pull the swivel into the collar, and there it is. You then have a quick change swivel. The quick change swivel here in the front can be covered by an anti-tangle tube. This really helps separation in the cast, and all you have to do is tie a loop in your leader and then thread it over the quick change swivel, pulling it so that it's into the hook, and then you cover the whole thing with the anti-tangle tube by pulling it down, like so. The camera comes with a dive lip. It works much out of the same principles as a crankbait. The front of this makes the camera dive, and on top here you have two small slits that fits over the main line. So to mount it, you simply move the plastic part forward, and then on the back of the camera you place this over the top, and then you pull the main line through, locking it in place. So when casting this camera now, on the retrieve, the camera will stay underwater. The dive lip and the setup of the camera as it is now is suited for smaller lures, so like coastal lures and lures that has not that much movement, or lures that are not that aggressive. The camera also comes with a Y-fin. This gives a lot of stability to the camera setup, especially when using larger lures or lures with an aggressive movement. The fin fits on front of the camera, where there are two small ears, and in the fin there are two corresponding holes. So you simply click it over the front of the camera and lock it in place, like so. Having both the dive lip and the Y-fin gives you different options to set up the camera. Set up as it is now, it will drag down the camera and keep it stable. But sometimes you don't want the camera to go that deep, so you can fish it on its own, only with the Y-fin. So if you have really high weeds, for instance, you can fish it slowly with the lively bait and have the camera going just above the surface of the weeds. The camera comes with two on-the-go card readers. One of them is USB-C. This is used for laptops and Androids. And this one is Lightning type and is used for iPhones. The cool thing about these is you can actually see the video right after you've recorded it on the camera. So all you have to do is open the end cap, pop out the SD card, and then you choose the card reader that fits your device and insert it into the card reader. And then all you have to do is insert your on-the-go card reader into the phone. Choose archives or files, as it's called in English, on the iPhone, and then it'll show up like a drive. There you have a DCMI folder with all your recordings.